And we're live. Hey, I didn't have anything to say today. I just haven't been on live for a couple of weeks. I think it's been 10 days. Well, no, I had an interview. I haven't been on live for a little while. I thought I'd come by, see if you guys have anything to talk about, anything you want to get off your chest. Um, I've been doing okay physically. Mentally, I've been struggling with certain things. I've been thinking a lot about Andrew, Andrew McCready, one of the first person I did an interview with. I believe he was the second actually. I've been thinking about a lot about Andrew McCready. I can't find him. His Facebook account is gone. We were friends on chess.com. Andrew's a great chess player. I can't find him. I can't find him on chess.com. I can't find him on Facebook. I cannot find Andrew McCready. And I thought maybe he blocked me because a lot of people block me. You know, I'm a targeted individual. People people go behind me to speak to other people that I've been talking to in order to get them to not like me anymore. So I thought maybe it's a possibility that he got to him and he blocked me. But then I tried to look for his account on a different account, and he's his account is gone. Now I don't know about his chess.com account, whether he blocked me or what's going on with that exactly. I don't know. But I sure can't find him. So let me just put some light here. There we go. All right. I can see myself better. He has no online presence anymore. Not that I know of. Not that I know of. I mean, not that he had like a huge online presence. He's done a lot of interviews. He's done quite a few interviews. He has also, I think he has 3 YouTube channels. He has a lot of Facebook accounts, like old ones. When it comes to his new account, the last conversation I had with him, he told me, "Hey, I want to do another interview with you. There are certain things that I've been looking into that I want to talk to you about." I said, "Absolutely, man. Let's do it. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. You just let me know." That was the last time we spoke. And then I was talking to someone else that I want to interview, that I still haven't interviewed her, but I do want to interview her. And then I was thinking to myself, I haven't been this excited to interview someone since Andrew. And then I thought to myself, I haven't seen a post from Andrew in like weeks, in 2 weeks on Facebook, because we're friends on Facebook, and he used to like my posts. I used to like his posts. I know the last time that he posted, he participated into a chess tournament. I'm sorry, a chess tournament, and he won. He won that chess tournament. I mean, he's a really good chess player, guys. He's like a 1500 in bullet chess. I might be like 100 in bullet chess. My elo is like, yeah, depending on what site I'm using, my elo might be like 800, 1000. And don't get me wrong, there's a mountain of difference between 1000 and 1500. A mountain of difference. It's not the same ballpark. Like, StyXL is saying he's 800. If me and StyXL play, I might beat him, he might beat me. Between 800 and 1000, it's not that big of a difference. Between 1000 and 1500, you cannot beat a 1500, and he's a 1500 at bullet chess, which means like it's super fast, In like regular chess, he will tear you apart. I'm just saying, the guy's really smart, and I can't find him. And I was thinking about the conversation that we had during our interview, and he was saying, and this is actually really funny. So I was thinking about what he was saying. He was saying that the type of thing that is happening to us has happened in the past, and usually this happens when a great injustice, a great tragedy is going to take place. Hey, thanks for the gift, Cog 1140. Appreciate it. But Andrew was saying that the things that happen to us, the targeting, this political targeting. I mean, I don't think that it's like it has anything to do with politics. With like what side of the political side you have or you support. I do think it's political, but not in a sense of like left or right or whatever. But he was saying that this usually happens to populations before a great injustice happens. We're talking, uh, you know, G side, you know, a massive historical injustice happens, and yeah, and he was saying that what is happening to us has happened before, but it's never happened on this scale before, which leads him to think that something really huge is about to happen. And I've been thinking about what he said. I'm not gonna lie, it fucks with me. I've been in a really bad mood for the past few weeks, which is why I haven't posted a lot. And I've been real quiet around my wife as well. I explained to her why today, and she was really happy to hear it, but I didn't want to tell her because I didn't want to stress her out. Um, but she was happy that I spoke about it, and I do feel better now that I spoke about it. I always do. I always feel better when I talk to my wife. But it messes with me because this is a highly intelligent individual, highly intelligent, and highly intelligent individuals usually can notice patterns better than we can. And he's gone. Like, I don't know where he is, guys. I've been looking for him. Sorry, I'm not shaving. I look all messed up. My bad, yo. I'm probably gonna make this short and actually go shave. Uh, so yeah, Chuck sucks. Do you document or record the harassment stalkers or just let it go? No, I record everything. If you mess with me, you're getting recorded. Doesn't matter how you do it. If you write to me, if you do it in person, you're getting audio, video recorded. I don't let nothing slide because you know maybe we never get justice. I mean, the chances of us getting justice are quite low. Not impossible, not impossible, but quite low when I think about um, the story, the news story that the news are not covering, and the two people that were behind this, they went to prison, and one of them is no longer with us. The other one is, and they're looking to pardon her, but none of their clients have been prosecuted. You know, and it's not just that. When I think about MK Ultra and the lives that it destroyed, the people it affected, the families that were affected by it, we're talking about thousands and thousands of victims of MK Ultra, thousands and thousands. There are only 77 victims in Canada that were able to get financial compensation for their suffering. Mind you, they were able to get financial compensation for their suffering, but with the strict stipulation that no one is taking accountability for it. They're saying it's no one's fault. This was approved by the government, and the government doesn't take any blame for what happened to you or anything like that. Are you taking this money? You know, you have to agree that it's not our fault. 77 people in Canada, and only 9 in the U.S. 77 in Canada, 9 in the U.S. There are thousands of victims of MK Ultra, thousands, and most of them could not get any type of justice because they don't have proof. They simply did not have enough proof to show anything. So I record everything. I don't, I'm not saying I don't let it go. I do let it go. I don't retaliate. I don't go after people. I don't do to them what they're doing to me. I don't even wish them harm. That's not true. There are certain people that I wouldn't say there are certain people. In certain moments throughout my day, I might wish harm on some people, but I remember my values, I remember who I am, and I forgive. But I do record everything because if it comes down to it and I'm able to get justice, I would like to get justice. I'm not saying I want, people to go to prison or anything like that. I'm also not saying I don't want some people to go to prison. I think some of y'all niggas need to go. Sorry. But yeah, just to answer your question, I record everything. Both. I record everything and I let it go. I just keep the proof in case I need it. What a dumb question. I'm not even gonna read that. What a dumb question that is. Something huge is happening, I can tell you it's not good. Huh? Yeah, you're right, Ephesians. It doesn't seem to discriminate. I talk to a lot of TIs. If you write to me, I really like talking to TIs. If you write to me, I only ask that you make it short because if you send me like long texts, I get discouraged. I don't want to make it seem like you guys are not important to me. You guys are important to me. It's just reading long text is like I can't do it. I don't have that attention span. If you send me like short text, like normal conversation, we can talk for hours. But if you send me like a super long, I get discouraged. I feel ashamed saying that, but I do. I get discouraged. Instead of being a conversation now, it feels like homework. I've never done homework in my life. But yeah, it doesn't seem to discriminate. I get messages from a lot of people, and I get messages from people on so many different spectrum of so many different places from on the political spectrum. There's no common denominator. Some of the TIs I've spoken to are really horrible people too. I mean, most aren't. Don't get me wrong. Most targeted individuals. Sorry, guys. My bad, yeah. Most targeted individuals most targeted individuals I've spoken to are really good people, but some of them are really bad people too. No, I don't have his phone number, Deb. I really wish I did. I don't. We were on really good terms, We would talk every time we'd talk. It was nothing but positivity, and He reached out to me 3 times to do an interview, to tell me he wanted to do an interview. One time he reached out and I gave him a date. He said it was okay. He had to reschedule last minute because of his new work schedule. I said, "Great, man. I'm glad you found a job." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm just starting. I'm doing the training and everything." I was like, "I'm happy to hear that. God bless you, brother. Whenever you're ready, just let me know. It's all good." We kept having conversations, and then he told me one more time he wanted to do the interview. I told him, "I'm ready. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready." So I was waiting for him, and then he told me once more. He said, "I want to talk to you about this program because um, what did he say? Because he was saying that he thinks that it's he said he was saying, I know for sure the Federal Bureau of Investigation, sorry, FBI is behind this. I'm not American. My bad, guys. I'm not American. English is not my first language, or my second. My bad, y'all. Um, but he was saying, I know for sure the FBI is behind it, and there are certain aspects of that I really want to talk about. And I was like, absolutely, man. I want to hear it. I want to hear what you have to say. That was the last conversation I had with him. 2 weeks later, I started to realize, I just kind of realized, like, hey, man, he hasn't liked any of my posts. He hasn't posted anything. Where is this guy? I look him up, gone. I go to the conversation that we had, it just says Facebook user. And I can still read the messages that we exchanged, but he's gone. So then I go on chess.com, like, hey, I'm going to message him on chess.com. I mean, maybe his Facebook account got, banned or something. I go to chess.com, he's gone. We were friends on chess.com. He asked me, what's your username on chess.com? And he says, oh, I just added you. I'm like, awesome. Let's talk. He's gone. Let me just double check on chess.com. Wow, chess.com is really slow today. Or is it chess.com that's slow? Is it my internet? Nope, it's chess.com. My bad, y'all. Anyways. So yeah. I can't find him. I don't know where he is. Yeah, I hope he's okay too. Jesus is Cog says Jesus is coming. Um, when I was a kid, I was a really firm believer in Jesus Christ, and I became an atheist when I was about 12. It's a very sad story that I don't wanna share it again today. I became an atheist when I was 12. I'll just put it that way. I was praying for something. I was praying for I was praying for my suffering to end, and it didn't. And I stopped believing. I was 12. Someone told me, if you want something, just ask God for it. He'll provide it. And I just thought to myself, I've been asking. It's not happening. I don't want to say what it was. Anyways, as I became an adult, when I met my wife, who's very pious, I gained back my belief, and then I just wrote somewhere on Facebook, like in the comment section of a post, of another TI who's dealing with V2K, and he has been for the past 8 years. I wrote, when I was a kid, I used to believe in Jesus hardcore. believer in Jesus. When I was 12, I became an atheist. I did not expect, I said when I was a kid, I always thought that Jesus would come back. Because I did. When I was a kid, I believed Jesus would come back. And then when I was 12, I became an atheist. I did not expect to find out that demons are among us as an adult. That was not in the cards of like. And I was talking to my wife about the program, the gangstalking program. My wife, whose tire was popped last week, but I'm not sure if it was someone or if it was just some mistake that she made. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I was telling her how this program is so divisive because it doesn't just target you, you know? It makes targeted individuals go after, like, turn their backs on people as well. It's like very divisive. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. Say your targeting begins with like a smear campaign, and your friends turn on you, or your coworkers turn on you, and they start doing directed conversation. They're not direct, but they're doing directed conversation with you, just to let you know you're being spied on, to let you know like, hey, that thing you said or that thing you did when you were home all alone, we know about it. You're being watched, right? To freak you out. And then, you're dealing with a therapist, for example, or a doctor, and, your doctor or your therapist start treating you differently. And they start doing directed conversation with you as well. And you're just like, man, what is going on, right? And then your therapist repeats to you a sentence that your friend or your coworker who is gang stalking you has said to you. And now in your mind you're thinking they're in cahoots, right? They're working together. And you're thinking your coworker has contacted your doctor. Meanwhile, that's probably not what happened. There's like a handler in the back playing everybody like puppets, you know, turning them against you, and then trying to get you to go against, to go at these people in retaliation. And I was just telling my wife how, like, this is, even if you were an atheist, this is like biblical levels of evil. This is biblical. Even if you don't believe, to actually accept that this is actually happening is like, it's impossible unless you believe in biblical evil. Because you go, humans are not capable of this level of malevolence. Uh, you know? Anyways, felt good to talk to my wife about it this morning because for weeks I didn't want to go on live, I didn't want to do interviews, I didn't want to edit videos, I was in a bad mood. Because I'm thinking about Andrew. Where is he? What happened to him? And I'm also thinking about what's coming. Something is coming. They're not, they're not working this program and, involving targeting at this level, at such in such high numbers, in order to do nothing. Something is coming. What is it? And it would be easier to understand what is coming if you know who's behind it. Everybody has their theories, and we know who's behind it, but who's behind the people behind it? It's like, yeah, the FBI is coordinating it. Of course. Under whose command? Because it ain't Trump. And don't get me wrong, I don't like him, right? As a president, I don't like him. But it's not him. This was happening long before him. As a matter of fact, he was targeted. Trump was targeted. So, who's behind it? It's time to have some like really uncomfortable conversations. Keep the hope alive. Yeah, man. Yeah, there. Most of us going through this believe that we're the only ones going through it. I know I felt that way. I felt like I was the only one going through it because it was just like, how is this possible? Like you're just going through like an impossible scenario, you know? And the people involved in the people involved in our targeting have doctorates and badges and shit like that, you know? You just go, wait, that's not right. This can't be. I'm sorry, I look terrible. I need a shave. Uh yeah, for a long time I thought I was the only person for a good 10 years. I thought to myself, way more than 10 years as a matter of fact. For yeah, I'd say 19 years. For 19 years. For 18 years. For 18 years. I thought I'm the only person on the planet this is happening to. It's been 20 now. Now it's officially 20. This summer is 20. Some in Germany for Orchestration compensation for them. I don't know about the compensation for Zelsatsung, like if they had compensation for it. I was researching that, and then something happened. I don't know what happened. I think I, I think I got into like an argument with someone online or something like that. I have like a vague memory of that. What are we talking about? Same thing we're always talking about. How's it going, Cosmic Queen? They still doing it. Have you guys seen the targeted individual map? No, I haven't. There's a targeted individual map. Yo, gangstalking is worldwide. I'll tell you right now, gangstalking is worldwide. There is no. I do want to see the map though. Do you mean like a geographical map or like the diagram? You piqued my interest. Now I want to see it. Can't find it. Do you think this is a gang stalking program or trafficking program? I think torture, trafficking are better ways to describe it. I agree. I agree. I think that torture and trafficking are better ways to describe it. Um, I think the end goal is trafficking. How to stop the rumination? That's a great question. Uh, for me, the way that I stop the rumination is I talk about it to people who listen, to people who understand, to people who to people who are going through it as well. Just getting it out of my head. Oftentimes, speaking it gets it out of my head. So, talking about it to people who validate your reality. Yeah. We all get discouraged. Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes. I don't let it I don't let it get me down for too long. Hey, what's up, Brendan? I've been in therapy. When you figure that one out, please let me know. Yeah. Damn. I'm sorry to hear about Ashley. Yeah. You know, my brother has been targeted as well, but he refuses to believe that this program exists. He just thinks like it's something else. I don't know what he thinks. He won't talk about it to me, and I'm not willing to force him to talk about it. Also, it doesn't matter. Did you know that the U.S. government brought in ex-East Germany officials after they were used to help devise the programs after the passage of the Patriot Act? I did know that. I did know that. Did you know that they also did it after World War II? It was called. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't the. Well, yeah, it was the U.S. government. It was the CIA. I mean, they weren't called the CIA at the time, but it was through Operation Paperclip, and that's how the CIA became a thing. That's a little nugget for you. What a dumb question. What a dumb person. Where are my moderators? Can somebody escort Orman World to the exit? Please. Por favor. With a cherry on top. That's why what we experience resembles Celtic song, because the same people are involved in both. That's right. This is happening everywhere. It is happening everywhere. It is. I think you deleted his comment. Oh, I think he's gone. Goodbye, Orman World. Take care. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Appreciate you. Hope he just got spooked and resurfaces. Well, it wouldn't be the first time, honestly. It wouldn't be the first time because he has a bunch of Facebook accounts. My father does the same thing, you know. He can't remember his password, so he just makes new accounts. He also has like different YouTube accounts where he posted videos. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. I'm just looking at it like, yeah, but why is his chess.com account gone? That doesn't make sense. It's annoying. Yeah, he's not here. I'm looking through my friends list. He is not here. I wish I had played a game with him. I was too scared. But if I had played a game with him, he would be in my game history and I would be able to find him, to find his account and figure out, did he just unfriend me? You know? Or did they fully disappear him? I pray he's okay. I pray he's doing just fine. Okay. Left church at 16. My father was a bishop at that time. He wasn't pleased, though I don't believe in God, never did. Even in a situation, wish I could believe, but no. Yeah, when I was first going through it, without without knowledge of the gang stalking program, when I thought that it was just some hacker that was hell bent on destroying my life, um, when I was taking myself to mental institutes to talk to people, therapists. I spoke to one psychiatrist once. It was a very brief conversation. You wouldn't believe how brief the conversation was. It took me weeks to talk to a psychiatrist so that I could finally explain to him what was happening to him, what was happening to me, and he just went, "No." And I went, "What? What? No, things like that don't happen." And I was like, "Oh no, it is happening." It's like, "No, people don't go out of their way to destroy someone's life. That's not what people do." And I was like, "No, but I understand it's not coming, but it is happening." And he was like, "No, no, it isn't." And I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was fuming. I wanted to jump across the room, but I didn't. And afterwards, there was this guy that was also involved in the. Um, I mean, he was just taking notes. I think he was like a student. He was taking notes, and he just came to me afterward, and he was like, "Wow, you're like really like agreeable." And I was like, "Okay." I mean, not realizing that no, I very much wanted to do something. It's just, I mean, it's, I value myself too much to put myself in a position to make dumb decisions. I just value myself too much. And it was very funny to me because I had spoken to so many different, people that worked there, so many different employees for weeks and weeks because I would go every week. And when I finally got to speak to psychiatrist, I had like built up my hopes that like, oh, he's gonna be able to actually help me and not just listen. And he was the worst listener. He was the worst of them all. It was the worst interaction I ever had at that place. And I had interaction with gang stalkers at that place. But the interaction with him was the worst. I was just like, man. Anyways, do I know his father's name? No, I don't. I don't, unfortunately. But yeah, when I was going through it, and I didn't know that it was gang stalking, I was an atheist back then, and um, though I was dealing with something like this, I still remained an atheist. I never, you know, prayed or anything like that. Now I pray every day. I pray to say my graces. I pray to, thank God for my blessings. I pray for my enemies. I pray for God's lost sheep. I call them God's lost sheep. Ask God to help them find their ways back to Him. I pray. I pray for strength, courage, patience. I've gained back my beliefs, but it wasn't because of gang stalking. Um, it was because I met my wife. My wife is an amazing soul. If you had my wife, you'd also you might also gain back your belief your belief in God. Or maybe not. I don't know. Hey, have a good one, Brendan. My therapist was in on it. She explained me that I would be stalked and that I could never prove it. In the end, I don't blame her. She was coerced. She had no choice. Uh, Stike, so allow me to say, fuck that. We all have a choice. We all have choices. I don't give a damn. She was coerced. Look, I think it's great that you're able to forgive her. And I think we all deserve forgiveness, her included. But let's be real. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's crap. And here's the truth, The truth is it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to make wrong decisions, it's okay to sin. But once you realize you've made a mistake, you've made a wrong decision, or you've sinned, make it right. Make it right. Perhaps her, telling you that you would be stalked and that you could never prove it was her way of trying to make it right. I don't know. But you're saying she was in on it. Anyways. Yeah, I've heard of that Ace of Cups. I've heard of this. Been dealing with it for 30 years. 20 here. Stay strong, Ephesians. These humans are people, fear them. We're getting there. I will put enmity between the seed and the serpent seed. Dark occultists run it all. We're getting into the uncomfortable conversations that need to be had. Lorna. Damn. The devil is the God of the world. Jesus was sent by the Creator to save the children of Jehovah God. Amen. Hey, Tarai. How's it going? How are you? Did you think you were crazy too? I never thought I was crazy. I never actually thought I was crazy. I just decided to run with that narrative because it was the only narrative that made sense. And the level of gaslighting I dealt with was diabolical. To have every single person I spoke about this to straight up tell me this is impossible. You're having psychosis. You know, I mean, I literally spoke about this to a like, man. I mean, I told my brother, I told my cousins, like four of my cousins, told my girlfriend at the time, who I've been thinking about it today. I can honestly say that she was in on it at the end. Not in any way like I don't think that she was in on it during our relationship, but at the end she had information about things that she shouldn't have, and she let me know. Um, she let me know like on the low, not directly, by talking about things that she should not know. And I was just like, what? Anyways, um, but yeah, I never thought I was crazy. I just made the decision to go with that narrative because it was the only one that made sense. Maybe you know what? Maybe it was psychosis, because I don't know what psychosis is, but maybe it was psychosis. So I just went with that, and then for maybe 4 years it stopped, or it got really lax, and then after 4 years it just shot back up, destroyed my life again. Which brings me to a point that I find very funny. I get these comments often of people saying, you say you're a targeted individual. Can you prove it? Prove it. You're cap. You're capping. Prove it. Name one instance where you were targeted. You like that makes you a targeted individual. And I'm just sitting here like, oh right, you want me to prove to you that I'm the victim of a covert torture program. Covert means secret. Everything that they do holds plausible deniability. No matter what I say to you, which I won't say anything to you, but no matter what I say to you, if I was to say something to you, you would spin it as a coincidence or an hallucination. That's what covert torture is. Everything holds plausible deniability. So I'm not going to, frustrate myself in explaining to a stranger, mind you. I don't know who you are, and I don't care who you are, right? I'm not gonna, waste my precious, beautiful, wonderful, valuable energy in proving to you that I'm being gangstalked. And of course, one of the reasons why I'm not going to waste my energy proving to you that I'm being gangstalked is because my energy is precious and you don't deserve it. But the other one is the other reason why I wouldn't do that is because even if you did believe me, even if I told you, oh, this and this happened to me, I lost my business, I lost these friendships, I lost these relationships, these business relationships, professional relationships, I lost all of these, my tire got, all of right. If I was to like say all of these things and you went, wow, man, I think you are being targeted by the FBI, I believe you. I believe you. Now what? Nothing? So, prove it. No. I see your beautiful spirit, not your appearance. Thank you, Lorna. I do look terrible right now, but I'm a barber, so I'll go upstairs in a couple of minutes and fix myself up, be ready for my next live or video. Number 20. It's been 20 years, Tarai? 10 years this summer. Dang. What has been the hardest part of y'all's targeting? I'm curious if there's a theme with that. The hardest part? the hardest part has been the hardest part has been dealing with my need to be liked and accepted, which is something that I've let go of, you know. But I used to deal with being liked, with a very serious need to be liked and accepted, especially if I've done nothing to you, you know, or if I've done nothing to be disliked. It was very uncomfortable being disliked by a bunch of people that had no apparent reasons to dislike me, or like that had no apparent reason to torture me and bully me. Just like, and my targeting involved a lot of women, so it was very hard for me to just go like, aren't you afraid? I mean, you people are, I mean, you ladies are bullying me mercilessly every day at work. Aren't you afraid? I'm a man. I'm not small. And one of the things that I think to myself is that a lot of people who target individuals don't realize what they're doing or what they're pushing people to, you know? And the reason why they don't know these things is because when the news media covers Myron May or Aaron Alexis, or no, sorry, Aaron, sorry, what's his name? Yeah, Aaron Alexis. When the news media covers Aaron Alexis, Myron May, uh, you know, different, school pewers who, oh snap, there was a, oh, different school pewers who reported hearing voices and things of that nature. They don't give you the details of what drove these people to that. They only speak of it in a way to take away your Second Amendment. So, oh, guns are dangerous. It's like, no, no. And, I used to be very anti pew pew. Now I'm very pro. But the man, what was I gonna say? The news media coverage, when it talks about these targeted individuals who snap and commit acts of mass violence or just acts of violence, who unalive people, they don't tell you, oh, this person, was saying that they heard voices. Or they might say that, but they'll say this person was clearly dealing with, mental health issues. Um, you know, they won't go into detail. Like, you know, everybody's heard of Myron May here. Most people that I talk to don't even know who Myron May is, let alone the fact that he was proclaiming, a self-proclaimed targeted individual who said the word, I am being gangstalked, who said his family was in on it, and who put out an affidavit, well, like a testimony of what he's been going through and all of the people that were involved in it and what they did to him, took his career from him. He was a lawyer, you know. They didn't tell you that he sent out boxes through, was it FedEx or I think it was USPS, boxes to family members with details of his targeting, and the FBI intercepted them all. All seven of these boxes were intercepted. None of them made it to his family members. these boxes that had explanations of what has been going on with them, and you know, details about the targeting program and things of that nature before he did what he did at the Florida State University. They don't say that. These people, all they see is they see a man with a badge who comes and says your name and describes you as a dangerous threat, and then he gives you the carrot or the stick, right? It's like, well, you know, we've also investigated you, and we found out you did this. If you don't want to be in trouble, you're gonna help us and do this. Or they go, you know, within our program, we offer money to people who help us. If you could help us in getting this individual to do something that can get him in trouble so that we can get our hands on him, here's the carrot. That's all they see. They don't see Aaron Alexis as one of us, a targeted individual. They don't see Myron May as a targeted individual. They might have not heard of these stories. Or maybe they heard of them, but they haven't heard that Myron May and Aaron Alexis both said, I'm being targeted with V2K. The government is running MK Ultra type experiments on, you know, torture experiments on us. It's not just torture experiments. They're running smear campaigns, destroying my livelihood, you know, destroying our livelihood, destroying our life, destroying our relationships from the inside out. They're destroying our lives, you know, and no one can help. Anytime you go to someone for help, and even if they seem eager to help, the government gets to them because you have a voice. You're one voice. And then some dude with a badge and a title like sheriff or doctor gets to them and tells them, here's the truth. Who are they going to believe? You, who has been painted as a criminal, or the person that society tells you to believe? Anyways, the point I'm making is that a lot of women, a lot of the people participating in my targeting were women. And I've always asked myself, like, truly, if the rumors that are being spread about me is that I'm a dangerous individual that needs to be put in prison, you don't think you're in danger? I mean, if that was the truth, which it's not, I would never hurt anyone for any reason aside self-defense. There is no succession of words you can put in a sentence that will make me hurt you. Nonetheless, if you're participating in this, unless it's strictly for the money or to get yourself out of trouble, no, sorry, unless it's like strictly to get yourself out of trouble, yeah, right, or for money, it's because you believe what is being said about the target, is that they're a dangerous individual. If if I'm a dangerous individual, I mean, in the words of Walter White, perhaps you should tread lightly, you know? And I'm not saying you should, because it doesn't matter. You know, the free speech, talk to me however you want, doesn't matter. I'm just saying your logic is not logicking. Your reasoning is not reasoning. You can't be afraid of a danger to society while also throw stones at them. Who are you fooling besides yourself? just be real. You're a bad person. You were given an opportunity to torture someone and you jumped on it. Okay. Hey, lead follower, how's it going? How are you? Let me get back to some of them comments. Uh, where was I? Operation Paperclip. I'm really proud of you for holding back with that doctor. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was a shocking day for me. I was just like, he's a psychiatrist. I didn't think to, because here's the thing. I didn't think to myself, he's in on it. I knew there was at least one employee who was in on it. I knew that because he was doing directed conversation with me, and I had requested to no longer speak to that person. And he bothered me once, and I just looked at him and didn't talk, and he just left me alone. Um, when I was talking to that psychiatrist, I didn't think he's in on it. My thought process was, what a moron. I mean, this guy is an absolute idiot. I, I know some idiots. I know some pretty stupid people, you know. Some of them have like fried their brains with, drugs, with, substances, and they're just not, their IQ is low. Are their IQs low because of, you know, their parents were low IQ? Did they get dropped on their heads? Were they low IQ before, you know, the substance abuse? I don't know. But I know some really low IQ people. And some of the low IQ people that I know are really quite loving people. They're great. I would never judge them for being low IQ. I'll take a nice dummy over a smart evil person any day of the week, right? I'm just saying, being dumb is not a crime, and being dumb doesn't put you down in my esteem of you. Being evil does. But when I was talking to him, I just thought to myself, what a moron. I don't consider myself to be particularly intelligent. I think I'm like, regular, right? Perhaps slightly above average. My expectations when when I was about to speak to a psychiatrist for the first time was, he must be really smart. He's a psychiatrist. He's a mental health doctor. And I can genuinely say that he was one of the dumbest person I've ever spoken to. A brick wall has more insight on the human psyche. So, holding back was quite easy because, I mean, it wasn't easy. I'm lying. It wasn't easy. But holding back was an option that I was able to go to, to hold myself to, because I wasn't angry at him. And if I was angry at him because I thought he was in on it, I would have just stopped the conversation. I would have gotten up, walked out, without saying anything. But because I thought he was stupid, because I thought he was a moronic idiot, I thought I have to explain. Perhaps if I put a succession of words in a certain way, I will unlock the mind of this fool who obviously is smart enough to get a psychiatry, to be a doctor, a psychiatrist. I mean, he's not a psychologist, he's a psychiatrist, and he's an idiot. That was my thought process. Hey, thanks, Quita Ward. I hope I said that right. Appreciate the jewels. Very kind of you. Can you tell me the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to enjoy everything that life has to offer. I mean, that's, everything good that life has to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of life is. Talk to God. Why would you ask me that? I think I'm gonna block you. Anyways, sorry. What makes you so special? Routine. Yeah, yeah. It's what makes you so special. Yeah, and it's normal for people to go, "What makes you so special?" Because they're like, "How could you even believe that people would put in so much effort to destroy your life?" And I get that. I've come to accept that no one who anyone who hasn't gone through this will never understand it. And the reason why I accept it is because this page was about narcissistic abuse, which gangstalking is narcissistic abuse on crack, on steroids. Sorry, but with narcissistic abuse, unless you go through it, you can't understand it. You simply can't. Doesn't matter how much I explain it to you, it won't resonate. You won't get it. Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam, Gracie. How are you? I'm glad you're here. So yeah, I don't get mad anymore when people, you know, tell me what makes you so special. What about you is so special that people would. And also, I did that to my brother when he was telling me that gang members were following him, and I was just like, brother, you're the king of nothing. You own nothing. No one is envious of you over nothing. No one is throwing their lives away to try and take your life. Especially someone who you don't even know. I feel really bad that I told him that on that day. But then again, he's a targeted individual. He doesn't believe in the gang stalking program. He won't even hear me out. And we've been talking a lot more recently. But nonetheless, I don't talk to him about this, We talk about video games. It's cool. I love my brother. Give a thumbs up, guys. Help get this out, please. Thanks, Lorna. Hey, thanks. Give a thumbs up, guys. It helps. It helps the algorithm figure out that I'm not what I'm speaking on is not irrelevant. He asked the purpose of life twice. I am going to block you. You caught me in a bad mood. How sad. Now you're gone. Make a new account. Sometimes we get ultra paranoid when things get super overt. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I first started going through it and I didn't know what gang stalking was, I was scared. I was afraid. I was really afraid. I was like, what is this? What is happening? My friends are acting super nice with me, but they're doing directed conversation with me, and I didn't know what directed conversation was at the time. I just knew that they're talking about things that I do when I'm alone. They're talking about things that I say when I'm alone. They're talking about things they should not know about me. And then they smile in my face. You know, when I first started my page, the War Against Narcissism, I had a friend who's in on my gang stalking, invite me over her house, and she told me that like one of her sons, he was 1 year old or 2 years old at the time. She was saying that, oh, he's, uh, you know, he has like an early diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder, which is like ridiculous, you know, antisocial personality disorder at 2 years old. But she was saying that, and I'm thinking to myself now. At the time, I wasn't thinking anything. I was just like, well, that's really sad. Um, but I'm like in her backyard talking with her. She had invited me because she had some things that she wanted to give me because I had just broken up with with her friend, and she was like, "Oh, we have some stuff for your new apartment." And I was like, "Oh, that's really nice. Thanks." I thought we were friends. Anyways, but she's just like really like talking about, oh, you know, my son, he's been diagnosed with ASPD, and I'm just like, oh, that's really sad. I'm just thinking to myself, what was the goal of that? Did you think like I was going to like do something? What have they told you about me? And then again, maybe it has nothing. I mean, I know she was in on it, but maybe it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it does, obviously. But yeah, that was such a strange day. I was just like, what are you talking? Why would you do that? Like if the thought process is I'm a dangerous individual, why are you trying to do things to get me to react violently or something like that? How stupid are you? I'm being very negative. I hope she's happy. I hope she's happy. I hope her husband and her children are all swimming in bliss and happiness. They can get you to suspect our true means of support. Yeah. Yeah, they do that. They do that. What's the end game for the gang stalkers? Has anyone ever successfully overwritten it? What the end game for the gang stalkers or for the targeted individuals? Because the end game for the gang stalkers is getting paid, usually. It's getting paid. I had this old manager at the last job I worked at years ago message me 2 years ago, maybe 2 3 years ago, asking me, hey, I was looking at my old messages, I wanted to know how you were doing. And I didn't respond to her. I just blocked her because she was in on my gang stalking. I just blocked her. I didn't respond to her, but I was thinking about like it's such a great response, you know, that would have been useless to send. It would have been a waste of my precious energy. But I was just thinking like even if my domicile was a garbage dump, I would be better than you. My soul is fine. How am I doing? I'm gonna end here because there are so many things that I could say about this person. If you had ever seen her, you would understand what I'm talking about. But I'm just not gonna go in. Anyways, I'm being negative. That's not good. My stalkers adopted and stole my dog. Damn. Oh man. I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm sorry. You missed, Dad, what did you miss? You didn't miss anything. I'm here. You did go through a couple lives back and take the boot off a bunch of people in the block list. Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right. These people are back, you know? Hey, maybe I reblock them and then unblock them and reblock them, you know? Their comments boost my algorithm, honestly. That's the truth. Like, there's this person who wrote um, a comment on one of my videos saying, "Prove it, prove that you're a TI. You know, give us one example." And I mean, I'm not gonna respond, but I'm also not gonna erase the comment because it's a comment. It helps. It helps get the message out. So, in the words of Gucci Mane, you need you some haters. God created the devil, not the other way around. Cling to the truth. Amen. That is true. My stalking has become overtly aggressive. She changed overnight. What do you mean? How did it become overtly aggressive? Overtly aggressive, exactly. Yeah, what changed? I was led to Jesus Christ by a psychologist and seminary degree pastor in his office. He locked the door. What are we talking about here? Can't talk when getting hit with the poison. Can't think of words. Heaviness on chest. Feels like I'm going to pass out. Blurry vision. Whoa. Yeah. I mean, God, I can't even explain it. The frustration wasn't even coming from having this psychiatrist not believe my story. The frustration came from how can someone so dumb be a psychiatrist? This man is an idiot. You know, when you talk to smart people, to smart people, two things will happen. You will go, I relate to this person. I have an admiration for this person because they're able to word opinions and form opinions on things better than I can. They're saying, you know, either what I think or what I should have thought had I had more information or had I given more thought to a certain subject. Or you will think, Jesus Christ, how did this person come to even think this way? I can't even fathom of it. And I was just sitting there, like, thinking to myself, I've waited weeks to speak to you, man. Weeks, several weeks. I mean, we're talking like at least 3 months. At least 3 months it took to speak to the psychiatrist. And I couldn't believe it. He was a moron. And I remember the first time I saw him walk in, I thought, what a short man. That was my first thought process. What a short man. And then I thought, is he Indian or Afghani or Muslim, like, or Arab? Like, I wonder what he is. I couldn't tell. His name was Muhammad, but he was dark skinned. And I was just like, is he Pakistani? Because, you know, a lot of Pakistani people are Muslim. I couldn't tell. And then as we talked, I was just thinking to myself, your lack of intelligence disgusts me. And I just cut the conversation short. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. And he was like, thanks what? I was like, well, thank you for your information. He was like, yeah, great, good. So you'll stop with this nonsense. And I was like, I hope you have a great day. And then he kind of realized that I was just like, I'm not talking to you anymore, dude. And he got up and walked away. And I was like, great, great. He's gone. Idiot. I cannot overstate it. The man is a moron. He's still practicing in Victoria. Are you serious, man? Is that a joke or like, Cog? Is that a joke that you're making? Like, what happened? Getting harassed everywhere, even on jobs. Yeah. I've had a handler girlfriend. I understand the narcissism now, unfortunately. A gift and a curse, Ephesians. A gift and a curse. Watch the dating sites too from personal experience. Man, oh, man, I was in a dating scene for a couple of years before I met my wife. Um, I was on a rampage. Um, it might not seem like it. I don't know what kind of vibe I'm giving off. Um, I'm very good when it comes to courting women. I was unfortunately on a rampage. I wish I didn't do that. There are some really awful people on dating sites, and especially if you're going on dating site in like your 30s, you're dealing with the leftovers. You're dealing with the people who are not in relationships because they don't know how to make a relationship work. So I met a lot of interesting characters. I've got some stories. Man, I met this girl once. I met this girl once on Tinder, and it wasn't anything serious, you know. She just wanted uh, casual. I'm gonna use that word. She just wanted to keep it casual, and but I thought she was really pretty, and she was Haitian like me, so I was interested in her. And after she came over to my place uh, on the first date, she came over to my place, and after we casualed, she's laying on my chest, and we're talking, and then she starts talking to me about her ex-boyfriend. Unbeknownst to me, this is something that is very common when dating. People talk about their past relationships. Um, I don't want to make it seem like I didn't do that. I did that with my current wife, and I'm very grateful that she was patient enough for me, like with me, to like put up with that crap. But she was talking to me about her ex-boyfriend, which I don't think there's anything wrong with, to tell you the truth. But she's talking to me about her ex-boyfriend, and she was complaining about how he wouldn't take her back. And I'm just like, huh? You're in my bed. What? What is going? Anyways, but she's complaining about how he wouldn't take her back, and I'm just like, oh, that's horrible, you know. Um, why not? Why won't he take you back? And then she lets me know, well, I cheated on him, but I apologize, and he won't even forgive me. And I'm just like, disgusted, you know. And then she I think she slept over. Yeah, she no no she didn't sleep over that time. The second time she slept over. So you know, we watched a movie, I think, and then she left. Maybe we didn't watch anything. She left. Uh, I want to say 2 or 3 days later, she comes back. But this time she's saying, "Oh, I'm sleeping over because I'm going somewhere in your area tomorrow, and it's closer, so I'd like to sleep over." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So, you know, we casualed. I'll let you guess what I mean when I say that. And then, the next morning, well, you know, I think I cooked her something. At the time, I didn't know how to cook. I cooked her something, and we went to bed. The next morning, she wakes up, she leaves, and then maybe 2 days later, she starts prank calling my phone while she's with her friends because she was at a cottage with her friends for the weekend, and she's just started prank calling my phone, and I was just like, "Who does this?" I called her and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Why are you prank calling me?" And she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I never spoke to her again after that. That was it. And then I found out she was friends with my cousin. Anyways, that was not a bad story. That was like a weird story. A bad story, I would say, is when I went to a girl's house just to stay with her because it was kind of serious. We were like, I wanted to have a relationship with her. She wanted a relationship with me, and I went to her house on the advice of my cousin. My cousin said, if you're serious about this girl, um, try living with her for a week. He was right. Uh, and so I did. I said, it's spring break. I'm gonna go live with her for a week. And her ex-husband, first of all, she was still married. She told me that it was her ex-husband, and then later on, she sprung it on me that, oh no, we're still married. So, and then I was like, you didn't tell me that. And the reason why I said you didn't tell me that, and I knew she didn't tell me that, is because had she told me that, I would have not adultery. No thanks. Get divorced first. Anyways, but she's like, I'm sure I told you. And I'm like, no, no, you didn't. Because if you had, we wouldn't be a thing. Us wouldn't have happened. And so I went to her place for like a week. And when her ex-husband came to pick up the kids, she was like, my ex-husband is gonna freak out when he sees you. And I was just like, well, I'd rather him not see me. And immediately her face completely changed. Like she had like anger behind her eyes. And I was like, "Are you cool with that?" And she didn't answer. And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, let me know when he's coming because I'm gonna go upstairs." And she was like, "He's coming now." And I was like, "I'm going upstairs now." And then immediately, like the guy picked up his children, left, and as soon as that happened, she completely switched, became a complete to me. So that was interesting. It was just like, whoa. And she had told me all these stories about how awful her ex-husband was, and I was just like, no, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You're trying to use me to hurt him. You're trying to use me to hurt the father. I mean, if anything, he's picking up his kids. You should be happy. You get the weekend. He's actually taking care of his children. He's actually being there for his children. Shouldn't you be happy? Why are you trying to punish him by, showcasing another dude that you're with? I just thought, and then, treating me like crap for not wanting to play along in hurting your ex-husband, the father of your children. Yeah, COG, dating sites. They're interesting. He was whispering in my kid's ear for 22 years when it's time to break up with me because the kids were grown and he wanted to be with another. My house became a battlefield against me. Sorry to hear that. Pray and start over each day with a new hope, even if we know the same type of activity may occur. Choose something different and exciting to experience each day. This helps me get through. Plus prayers. I agree. I agree. Have something to look forward to. Try new things. You know, my wife asked me to renovate our deck. I didn't want to do that at all, but I love my wife very much. So if it don't make her happy, then it makes me happy. And now I have a new skill. I can, you know, sand and paint a deck. They used actual criminals on me too. They blackmailed them to get them to to mess with me. That whoa, that's dumb. If they make good on that threat, guess because it's over. Cosmic Queen, don't talk like that. I mean, I know you're joking, but don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. Awareness is power. Indeed. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that she called me to prank me, it was very strange. You know, I have to say that I was kind of sad because not just because she was pretty, but she was very funny. She was extremely funny. So when our interactions confirmed to me that, oh, this person is not looking for something serious, I was just like, oh, oh, that's too bad. you know. Uh, but that's on me, obviously. But it's just the whole pranking me. I just thought, what are you, what are you doing? And it's the actual prank. I'm not gonna say what it was, but the actual prank itself was just it seemed evil. Cosmic Queen says, "You're glutton for punishment. You allowed that one over 2 times." Well, she was very funny. I'll put it this way, right? The person that you're seeing here today and the person that I was when the person that I was at 30, I'm 39. The person that I was at 33 and the person that I am at 39 are two very complete opposite people. The person that I am today would never be interested in someone like her. The person I wasn't at 33, though, was fiending for punishment. You hit the nail on the head. Toxic people were very attractive to me. I was very attracted to toxic people, so I could not cognitively tell you that she's toxic at at the time. Remember, my channel started like 5 years ago. I met her 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, I was still learning about narcissism, still trying to study it through different relationships while going through gang stalking. But the person I am today would just look at her like she looks fun at parties. You know, any type of superficial interaction is would be great if we can keep it superficial. or if I can just avoid you completely, that would be great too. But I had just left a relationship with a narcissist that lasted 13 years. You can imagine that I was very much conditioned to be attracted to narcissists. So yes, I allowed her to come to my place twice. But you have to understand it. We're talking about a really funny person. She was hilarious. Hilarious. I hope she's well. I hope her boyfriend did. I hope her boyfriend took her back. I hope they're married and have many kids. Sorry, guys. The Narcissist Playbook, good documentary on narcissism. Yeah, it is. I just shared that on my. I just shared a post of the author on my Instagram. It is. Dr. Jess Taylor at least believes that gangstalking exists. She devoted a chapter in her new book to gangstalking. She's a good therapist. Yes, Dr. Jess Taylor is a therapist, psychologist, I believe, and in the UK, and she speaks on gangstalking. She wrote a book about it. I think it's called Click Click Stalk or something like that. Click Stalk. Dr. Jess. Click Stalk Destroy. Click Stalk Destroy. Basically, she was talking about how this new age of stalking is not like before, because back then if you wanted to stalk someone you had to park your car, you know, on their street and, you know, spy on them, follow them around, things of that nature. And nowadays people can just sit behind a computer screen and tap into your electronics and just stalk you all day and mess with you any which way they want and destroy your life from the inside out. And by the time that they're done, no one has any clue who did what. All they know is your life fell apart and they blame you for it. So, Dr. Jess Taylor, I strongly suggest you guys get familiar with her. She's on Instagram. I don't know if she's on other platform. I would guess that she is, but she is on Instagram. It feels surreal. I'm from the Netherlands. Yeah. I've spoken to a person from the Netherlands before. She does ASMR. Her name is Anne. She's very funny. And it was very funny because when I talked to her, I was like, dude, you curse a lot. She's like 30. She looks like she's 12. She curses all the time. And I'm just like, what's up with that? Why do you curse so much? And she was speaking this language that was very funny. I think it was Flemish or something like that. Is it Flemish? Do people in the Netherlands speak Flemish? Anyway, she has like a weird accent, but it was very funny to see this 12-year-old looking 30-year-old woman cursing like a sailor. It's like, you can't get through a sentence without saying the F word. I got extra quiet in the end and watched and listened when the gang stalking happened. These are my husband and kids who did this. Go study with Professor Vaknin. He's a teacher. So Sam Vaknin is, first of all, Sam Vaknin is a narcissist. He's a professor as well. And he speaks, you know, his platform is mostly about narcissistic personality disorder and psychopathy, so antisocial personality disorder, cluster B personality disorders. However, Sam Vaknin made this video about gang stalking where he was saying gang stalking is real and it needs to be studied. And you know, obviously Sam Vaknin is very credible source when it comes to mental health information. So I thought it was really great that he spoke on gangstalking. Don't let them take your spirit, Cosmic Queen. You got that right. Don't let them take your spirit. 100%. Yeah, guys, go follow Lorna. Lorna, she just posted a video today. I didn't watch it yet, but it's in my notifications on my phone. She just posted a video where she was talking about, the title was talking about her dog. Lorna speaks on her gang stalking experience, so if you guys could do me a favor and give Lorna a follow. I think it's important to support people who speak about their experiences, who raise their hands and say they're being gang stalked and give details about what they're going through. A lot of people ask me to do so, but the truth is I already have. It's just in my old videos. I just don't want to keep bringing up what I've gone through and what I'm going through. It's there. It's in the backlog. You know. But I think that if more people were like Lorna, where she's, they would gather the courage to speak up, to raise their voices, to, I was about to say show their faces, but yeah, show their faces, let people know this is real, this is happening. We cannot all share this same delusion. Something really crazy is going on, and you should, in the words of David Wilcock, he said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, we've all read, fantasy books or played fantasy games, and it's time to realize that there is a monster, there's an evil monster, and you better get to fighting him before he gets you. So, Lorna has joined the team. And I think we should support her. So, if you could take a second, I'll still be here. Go follow Lorna. Come back after. Lorna.m64 in the chat for those who are looking for her. Let's encourage her courage. Yeah, lead follower, you should do it too. You definitely should do it too. What lies are being spread about me like this is insane for people that don't know you to gang stalk you. I'd be thinking the same thing. I know what lies are being told. I know some lies that are being told about me. But some of the things that are being told about me are the truth. Like, for example, I know my cousins are mad at me because I've gossiped about them. Now, the issue here is I don't know if they're mad about true gossip that I've done about them, or if they've been told made up stuff. But they won't even talk to me. I've kind of stopped giving it importance at this point. I'm just like, if anyone is able to put, I'm saying this again, but if anyone is able to put a succession of words together that make you turn your back on me or make you abuse me, losing you is not a loss. Overcome evil with good. That is so important, Cog. Cog said, overcome evil with good. It's such an important thing when it comes to. Yeah, I love ASMR too. I do too. My favorite one is Well, the one I was talking about is ASMR Rapunzel. I think she changed her name to something else. But I don't watch her anymore. Uh, yeah, it's Rapunzel ASMR because she has long hair and she looks like she's 12. She still does. I'm looking at her right now. She still looks like she's 12. She's like 30 something with two kids. I used to talk to her. Like I've seen like videos of her family and stuff like that. And it's really funny because she has like a super innocent face as well. Like she doesn't just look young. She also has a very innocent looking face, like a Disney face, and she curses constantly, nonstop. Super funny. Uh, Flemish is Belgium. Netherlands speak Dutch. Yeah, Dutch. Well, she did not speak Dutch though. I think she spoke Flemish. Or at least that's what she said. You might be right. You might be right. Or maybe she's from Belgium. Maybe she is from Belgium. Who knows? She did not speak Dutch though. I would have recognized her. She spoke Flemish. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. It might be Dutch. You might be right. No, she spoke Flemish. That's strange. These are these languages resemble each other. You might be right. You might be right. My bad. You might be right. Anyways, beware of the skin deep. Mm, You ain't never lied. Lorna, you're wise. Very wise. Um, what? Poison that was delivered by air most. Dang. Hey, you got it, lead follower. When you make your first video, please send me a message, write a comment. I want to support you. Let us know. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna subscribe. No, I'm already subscribed to your page. I think I should be. Hold on. This is not working. Oh, there we go. Nope, not working. I can't go to your page. What is happening? Oh, I'm not on my account. I'm on the wrong account, my bad. Hold on. Uh there we go. Go to channel. Okay. I'm subscribed to you now. Oh, I see that you made a post 2 days ago. You know what? I'm reading. I'm like cross reading because it's a long paragraph, but I'm cross reading what you're saying here, and you should just say that in your video. This is great. Is it okay if I read what you're saying? No, you should make the video. Do you want me to read it? Let me know. I joined a schizophrenic group early on in my gangstalking days, and one of the coordinators came up and said I didn't belong there. Well, that's like that's a good thing. So I'm gonna read to you what what lead follower posted on her page. So lead follower, whose name is Amy, by the way. Amy's a nice name. I'm not sure how to start this post, but I'm a targeted individual and I've been getting poisoned for the last 5 days, 24/7 via airplanes. The gangstalkers are manipulating my heart to give me severe heart palpitations as I type. I have never had any heart issues. My blood pressure, pulse, everything always normal. I can barely breathe. My mouth feels like it has an almost minty menthol coating around it. Lips are numb, also feels like an electrical current is going through my tongue. The smell surrounding me is overwhelming, almost as if I took Vicks and coated my mouth, nose, and throat. I have shortness of breath, blurry vision, and massive heart manipulation from the evil gangstalkers, sorry. Did you mean palpitations or manipulations? I've never posted a post like this on YouTube or any social media platform. I've been wanting to start a channel to help other TIs, but lacking the courage until now. Until now. Silence at this point is equaling unaliving. I'm posting this particular incident because I'm afraid if I don't make it, I want everyone to know it wasn't a heartache, stroke, unaliving myself, or anything but a lie they are trying to push. I'm afraid I've been poisoned so much these past 5 days. I can't eat. I'm nauseous all the time. I also found out that this particular gaseous poison makes the pH in your urinary tract off. I just got a UTI 2 days ago. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I live in Illinois. Amy. Let me just interact with this. There we go. So, obviously, everybody's targeting is very different. What Amy is going through is some pretty awful stuff. You know, we're talking poisoning here, guys. And I think that one of the most baffling things about this program is the lengths to which they go to in order to hurt us. Amy is talking about being poisoned being delivered to her by planes. Anyone with a sound mind is going to listen to that, hear that, and think something is wrong with you. No, do you know how expensive jet fuel is? No one is using planes to poison you. All right. However, if you're like me and you talk to a bunch of targeted individuals, you would know that's not even rare, though. I've spoken to a guy in France who's being targeted by helicopters every day. His Instagram is nothing but videos of helicopters coming over to his house, circling, and then leaving back where they came from. Constantly, sometimes doing it 2-3 times in a row. Just coming over it right above his house and then leaving. There might be like 50 videos on his page about this. He's posted a video of this dude, this jogger that was hitting him with directed energy weapons. He was saying he has it in his bag. He pointed it at me and I started to feel sick, nauseous. I wanted to throw up. He takes videos of people walking by his backyard, taking pictures of his backyard door, and then just walking off. Like he's filming them doing it. And you would think to yourself, dude, no one is like renting a helicopter to go harass you, man. Get real here. It's not rare. If you go on TikTok and you check out, I'm gonna write it down. Targeted HVAC guy. That's his name on TikTok. Targeted HVAC guy. He's this Asian dude. I think he's Filipino. He says nigga a lot. Uh, which is strange because I'm like, is he Mexican? Is he Filipino? What's going on? I don't know. I also don't care. I just noticed it because it's very funny. But this guy has drones follow him because he works on the road. He's an HVAC guy, right? This guy has drones follow him constantly, every day, everywhere he goes. Multiple drones at the same time, just following him. It's insane. It's not rare. This crazy story that Amy is talking about, this unbelievable, crazy story that Amy is talking about, is not rare in the slightest. Yeah, I would definitely get that information, Amy. Get the information of, you know, any information you can get, Absolutely. I don't know how legal it is to like post it or anything like that. But yeah, I know because the guy I've been talking to in France who's dealing with the same thing, but it's helicopters in his situation. He's in France, and in France it's illegal to like film people on the street. You have a right to privacy in public. In America, you have no right to privacy in public. If you're in public, anything you say and do can be filmed. Even if you're not in public, if you're in a store, if you're in your home, if I can see you from a public place, I can film it. And if I can film it, I can show it. It's part of the First Amendment. Freedom of press. I can report anything I can see from a public place. So, just get your information in order as far as what you're allowed to do, and I say expose them, as long as it won't get you in trouble, legally speaking. Expose them. But also, as Cog was saying, you want to fight evil with good. So while we expose these torture tactics and these evil things that are being done to us, I think it's also important to remember that, you know, a lot of these people who are participating in this, they're fooled. So after you're done being mad at them, as much as I am, remember that they also deserve forgiveness like we do. Amy, don't even mention it. Don't even mention it. Thank you for being here. Don't even mention it. Hey, we don't move in fear. How's it going? We're always blessed. If we woke up this morning and God blew breath in our lungs, we are blessed. Amy asks, does anyone else have drones that literally stay around you all night in a triangle? So, personally, I had way more drone interactions than I've realized. One of the drones that was spying on me or harassing me, I thought it was a star because it was like giving off like a bit of a shimmering light, and I thought it was a star. And then at one point, I was looking for that star because I was like, it's the only light that is shimmering. The other stars aren't. And I was looking for it, and I saw it moving. I freaked out. I took a video, sent it to my wife. That was before I knew what gangstalking was, but I was like, that's a drone. It's always like I see it so often there, and sometimes it's not there at all. But every night I see it there. And then there was one night where like it was a bunch of drones moving around. Um, and then there was another night where that drone was following me from my place to my girlfriend's place at the time, who's my wife now. She was my girlfriend at the time, but it was following me. And I didn't tell her because I didn't want to stress her. It always takes me a long time to like tell my wife because I'm always like, I don't want to stress her with this. But then I always regret not telling her because it messes up my mood. And now like I'm in a bad mood with her, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." Meanwhile, I'm like, "Nope, I need to talk about something." Anyways, but if you want to see like ridiculous drone activity, targeted HVAC guy on TikTok. Targeted HVAC guy. You will be served. You will see some ridiculous drone activity. Someone asked the question, why, how do they select who to target? How did we make the list? Miss New Woman today. How do we make the list? There are quite a few things you can do to make the list. You can, for the most part, I would say to put it in sort of a general way of making the list is you pissed off the wrong person. The wrong person noticed you, or you pissed off the wrong person. That's it. You pissed off someone who has access to put names on the watch list. I saw someone get added to the watch list in real time. I'll show you. I'll show you right now.
It's not illegal to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. So, ICE agent in Maine calls a legal observer a domestic terrorist for recording her. He didn't just call her a domestic terrorist. He also said something very noteworthy. Pay attention.
It's not illegal to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Why are you taking my information down?
Because we have a nice little database.
Oh, good.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist. So
We're videotaping you? Are you crazy? It's not illegal to record.
exactly.
What you just saw is a woman in Maine that was following and recording ICE officers' activities in her neighborhood, which is not illegal. It's fully legal. She did not impede with an investigation. She did not obstruct the law in any way. She's just filming. But it pissed off this ICE agent because he knows he's doing something wrong. He knows it. And if you want to know, I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on when it comes to immigrants, all right? I don't care. If you know you're not doing anything wrong, you don't hide your face. if you're hiding your face, it's because you know deep down, you know you're doing something wrong and you don't want the consequences that come with being held accountable for doing something wrong. All right? Now, do I want my country to be flooded with immigrants? Not necessarily. Not really. Do I think that immigration is a huge issue? No. I think that a lot of issues are being blamed on mass immigration. Besides the point. Completely besides the point. Because even if you think that immigration is a huge issue, I respect your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. Does that justify putting illegal immigrants in slave work camps? I mean, if the goal is to get them out, ship them out, go back to your country. Why are we building facilities to hold them? Facilities where you have to work jobs, where you're getting paid a penny a day. They, they brought back slavery. That's what it is. And you don't like immigrants. You don't want immigrants around you. You don't want immigrants to come to your country. You don't want illegal immigrants to come to your country. I respect it. I understand it. Whatever you think, whatever treatment you think is okay for them, for illegal immigrants, you have to understand that eventually it'll be okay for you. The goalpost moves, the bar moves. Eventually, something you do will become illegal, whether it be, a business activity that you do, or perhaps it's just speaking your mind. We have decided that what you speak of is the ideology of Antifa, whatever, you know? Come with us. If you think what is being done to these people, because that's what they are, they're people. If you think what is being done to these people is okay, you need to crack a history book. I'm not saying you should be okay with mass immigration. That's not what I'm saying. That's not, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is human life is precious and it should be treated that way. And when you allow your government to treat humans as if they were not, as if they, when you allow your government to treat human beings like slaves because they crossed a border, you are teetering on a line that you do not want to teeter on. Anyways, the point is, what you just saw was a man who took a picture of someone with his little device that has facial recognition. So he doesn't need to ask her for a name or her ID. He just got your face. You were already in a database. And now you're about to join a new database. That's what he said. We got a nice little database. And now you're going to be considered a domestic terrorist. That's the list we're on, guys. FISA 702, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It's a terrorist watch list. I mean, are you not watched? Do you not feel terrorized? He just added her to a list. In 4K, well, not 4K, but, it's an expression, guys. We just saw it live. We just saw it happen. She knows exactly who bumped me. She might not know who he is because he is masked. But she can pinpoint to the moment where she was added to the list. Anyways. Oh man. We Don't Move in Fear just said something. I don't even want to talk about this because I don't want to get banned off of YouTube. Mm, I'm sorry. Thanks for the butterfly lead follower. Much appreciated. We Don't Move in Fear. If I start talking about this, I'm going to lose my mind. The fact that the news coverage is the news are barely covering it as if it doesn't matter, as if it wasn't huge. Lorna has no idea. See, Lorna has no idea what you're talking about. Lorna doesn't even know. Lorna, Google it. Google it. Let's see. Is anything gonna even pop up? No. Not even. Not even. There's. Oh man. God have mercy. If you Google Disney cruise right now, it says that a Disney adventure cruise canceled after guests had been on board for more than a day. There's like 7 news stories about this, about a Disney cruise being canceled. Meanwhile, last week, the story about Disney cruises was somebody say it in the chat, please, because I can't say it. I don't know what the line is, but clearly they're covering it with this new story here that happened yesterday. Somebody tell Lorna what happened. Somebody tell her in the chat. I don't. I'm against censorship. Make no mistakes. I'm completely against censorship. But if my page gets banned, that won't help anybody. We Don't Move in Fear. Can you please tell Lorna and Amy and Lorna what happened? Cosmic Queen as well. They don't even know. They don't even know. Anna doesn't know it either. All right, so I put in a comment. I put it in a comment. Just Google these 3 words. There we go. All right, so Lorna has seen it now. This is a story that came out like 5 days ago. You didn't hear about it. You had no idea. As a matter of fact, if you Google Disney cruise, you will see that, oh, there was a cancellation of a Disney cruise trip. But if you just add one more word at the end of Disney cruise, you will see that 5 days ago, there were arrests made on a Disney cruise. 27 arrests. Yeah, 27. That's right. Arrests made for a very specific organized crime. 27. Isn't it nuts? That's what I'm saying. Isn't it nuts? You didn't even hear about it. You had no idea. You didn't know. Lead follower. Amy says, what WTF? Anna says, what is wrong with people? Yeah. Cosmic Queen says she watches the news all day. She has not heard about it. That was 5 days ago. 5 days ago. Ephesians says, meanwhile, we're getting stalked. Lorna, you know it is. You know it is. Yes, it is. So somebody asked, how do we get added to the list? We don't move in fear. It says we pissed off some cowards. I sure did. I sure did piss off a coward. You know, Lisa Legg, stalked by the feds, and Laura, the last person I interviewed, were both added on the list for the same reason. They were talking to a man with intentions of dating or something else. And, well, more than just talking, with intentions of more than just talking. And then found out that these men were married. Laura decided to end it because she found out that this man was married. So she ended it. And that's when it began for her. Lisa decided to contact the wife and let her know, hey, your husband is on dating sites. And that's when hers began. But here's the truth, right? And I don't want to make it seem like their stories are unreal or they're not accurate. I don't know. I have no idea. I take their word for it. But here's the truth here's an important truth about gang stalking, which I'm sure you'll agree with. They love to ramp it up in situations like these, in situations of breakups, divorces, when you have issues with someone, when you quit your job, when you get a new job, they love to ramp it up in those moments. And often it'll give you the impression that it's coming from a certain person because the program was ramped up in the falling out with someone else. It's very Machiavellian. It's a very Machiavellian program where they turn people against you and then try to turn you against them. I'll give you an example. You have a falling out, you go to work, you get gang stalked at work. And you go to your therapist. I gave this example earlier, but you go to your therapist, and now your therapist is doing it as well. She's doing directed conversation just like your coworkers are, but she's telling you sentences that your coworkers are saying, which is giving you the belief that your coworker has contacted your therapist. Meanwhile, there is a person in the back, a handler, who is contacting them both. And it is not telling them that, they're pitting you against them as well. They're just telling them what to say, giving them their rewards, sending them on their way. They never realize that they're also being played, because the orchestration of it all is making you believe that this person contacted this other person in order to destroy your relationship with them. And now here you are in a situation where you're going to work and you're getting gang stalked at work, you're being mobbed at work, and you're thinking this person that is at work contacted, your therapist to ruin your reputation over there, and now you're thinking it's all coming from this person at work. This is biblical levels of evil. I mean, I think it's the only word that can really explain it. This is biblical levels of evil. They're not just pitting people against you. They're trying to pit you against people. They're doing all of this in the hopes that you will do something to them. Personally, I'm not confused. I'm lucky in that sense. I'm not confused. I know who's behind this. I know exactly. I know his name. I know his last name. I know exactly who's behind all of this. I have no confusion about it. Anyone else is just flying monkeys. But there are a lot of people who think, for example, that it's my ex-husband. And maybe they're right. Maybe they are right. Now, like I said, I'm talking about Lisa Legg and Laura here and their stories. I don't know their stories. They could be 100% right. They truly could be 100% right. And I think they are. I'm just saying there is a possibility. Whatever your situation is, whoever you think is actually behind it, there is a possibility that it's not even them that originated it. There's a possibility that they're just flying monkeys. And the only thing that they know about your experience is what they've done to you. That's a possibility. Like when I tell my story to people, they think, "Oh, it's your ex. It's your like." When I told my dad, he thought, "Oh, it's your ex." When I told my cousin, he thought, "It's your ex." I'm not saying that she's incapable of doing that. I'm saying it's not her. I know it's not her. Is she involved in it? Yes. Yes, she got involved in it. I have no doubt she got involved in this. It's not coming from her. I was with her for 13 years. You know. This started almost like a few months after I started dating her. You know? And I know who was behind it. Cuz for me it started on a Pitbull forum and they were doing it to somebody else on that forum as well. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. And it's a law enforcement officer. And when the person that they were doing it to started complaining, you know, the guy that was behind it was saying, "Oh, he's gonna call the FBI, blah blah." You know, it wasn't his first rodeo, is what I'm saying. Anyways, the point I'm making is, perhaps you are certain of who put you behind this, but I think it is worth looking into and thinking to yourself, is it really though? Or is this just a flying monkey? I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't actually matter, to tell you the truth, because whether you're a flying monkey or a handler, I think you all deserve the same thing. And, whether you're the orchestrator of this crime or a cog in the bigger scheme of it all. In the eyes of the law, you all get the RICO. Anyways. I will bring Laura back. I will. I really will. I thought her interview was a really great one. She's smart. She's funny. Um, she's um, she's a believer. Yeah. There's a lot of hidden terminology and signals. You know, to me, it's scary. To me, it truly is scary because it's like it's almost you can't tell what's real or what's fake. You know, and man, a couple of years ago, maybe even months, a couple of months ago, maybe a couple of years ago, you couldn't talk about these things online. You would get immediately shadow banned. I mean, the same way that if you talk about gangstalking, you get shadow banned. If you talked about these symbols, these hidden terminologies and signals and all of these things, you would get shadow banned. Not anymore. Why? What changed? Why are they allowing free speech on platforms without penalizing anyone? I mean, they were very adamant about making sure that no one is spreading information about certain things and certain people. But now it's like, I mean, I don't know about you guys. My algorithm when it comes to Instagram is depressing. You know, someone made a post on Instagram saying the exact same thing I'm saying, and he was saying you have to ask yourself why is it that they're allowing all of this free speech, and they're like, is it because they've come to realize that it's important to speak up about it, which is like no, or is it that they're watching us all and they're about to round up the dissenters? If you're going through what we're going through, it's believable. I've been on here for too long, guys. I'm sorry. I do have to go. Is she trustworthy? Uh, is who trustworthy? Oh, you're talking to Cosmic, sorry. Uh, yeah. Sorry, I do have to go, guys. Um, that meant there was someone watching me through my phone. Yeah. We're all being spied on through our phones. Edward Snowden tried to warn us. No one really listened. No one really listened. We were outraged for like all of 30 seconds. And then the government was like, "No, I promise we're not spying on you." And now they're just like, "Yeah, we're spying on you." So what? I'm gonna leave you guys on a positive note. All right? I'm gonna leave you guys on a positive note. Something positive. Something positive. I've had that happen as well. Harriet. So the positive thing is that though the gang stalking program has a constantly growing army of evildoers. I can't believe I'm using that word in real life in a serious way. But even though the gang stalking program has a growing army of evildoers that are throwing their fellow men under the bus for financial gain and clemency, carrot and the stick. The targeted individuals community also has a growing army of people that are starting to speak up. And there are certain platforms, certain podcasts, certain professionals like Dr. Jess Taylor, Sam Vaknin, among others, that are starting to speak up about this. And soon enough, our stories will become undeniable. Much like MK Ultra was outed, this program will be outed as well. I believe in that. So, I pray that you all have a blessed, safe, and good night or day, depending on where you are. And thank you all for being here, for being part of this community, for raising your voice. A special wink at Amy. We're waiting for you to post your video. I can't wait. I subscribed to your page, so I'm waiting for that to come out. And I want you guys to remember. That you cannot fight evil with evil. That no matter how mad, no matter how angry you are at the betrayal of your coworkers, your neighbors, your friends, your family, I want you to remember that this does not reflect your character. I don't care what you've done, what you've said, what is being said about you to ruin your reputation. I don't care. I was talking to someone lately on Instagram. I was having a private conversation with them, and they were saying that the rumor that is being spread about them is that they were physically abusive to their child. And she was saying to me, I swear to you, it's not true, it's a lie. And, she was saying, I disciplined my child verbally, but I did not physically, abuse my child. And what I was saying is, and what I responded to her was, and I know this sounds awful when I say it, but the truth is, even if you did physically discipline your child, or physically abuse, right? Because that's nowadays, disciplining physically is viewed as abuse in the eyes of the law. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. I don't have kids. But even if you did, what I'm saying is, that doesn't mean you deserve gangstalking. It doesn't mean you don't have a right to your privacy. We're all humans. We make mistakes. And especially when it comes to young parents, oftentimes we don't have a lot of patience, or as much patience and wisdom as we do as older parents, right? But the point I'm making here is, it doesn't matter whether you're innocent or you're guilty of something, or it doesn't matter. No one deserves gangstalking. Nobody. No one. This is insane. So I want you to remember that, right? The way that people have turned their backs on you, the way that people are backstabbing you, the way that people are treating you as if you're less than nothing. No matter what you've done or haven't done, no matter what you've said or haven't said, it does not reflect on you. It reflects on them. It is a reflection of their character, and you should not be worried about it, because you're not the one who is being fooled. They've been fooled. They should worry. With that being said, always remember, you deserve grace, you deserve mercy. God loves you. Take care. Be safe, guys.